Scruffy Audio Network.
Hey, we're finally here on a Friday with my main man, my 6'8". Are you 6'8"?
I'm 6'8", man.
This is 6'8" Ian Bicko, but I call him Ian BINCKO. BINCKO, how you doing, my man?
Doing good, man.
Man, I'm so glad to get you on. This is your last day training with us, isn't it?
I don't like to say it's my last day, but I don't know when I'll be in Knoxville again. But when I do come back, I'll be sure to get back in here.
Well, you know, I do phone by Petrone and email and online training. And, you know, I know we sponsor you, but I'll just put it on the invoice of R. Kelly here. My main guy sitting in the office with us right now. We could do that because you got to keep it up, you know, when you go on the circuit. So this is Ian. Ian's been with me how long? Since January?
January. Yeah, so about 8 months now.
Yeah, and he's a professional volleyball player and one hell of a guy in here. And we love you, and I'm glad to get you on before you left. So I open up the show every time with one question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Have you listened to my podcast?
I listen to all of them, man.
Okay,
I actually listen to... My dad actually listens to these.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so should we keep it G-rated?
No, you just be yourself, man.
Okay. Oh, well, you know. Whoa. All right. Oh, yeah. Fist. Go to fist.
Oh,
Perfect.
right.
There you go. Okay. So, when did you know that you were different? And I'm not supposed to ad-lib anymore on that. Diamond Dave Marlowe said, don't give him the answers. You try to feed him too much. You spoon feed him. So when did you know you were different? I know you're different. The group knows you're different from the Madonna songs you play in here. But when did you know that you were different?
I guess, I don't know if I am different. I mean, I know you said that you think I am, but I have just always been very competitive. And I guess in relation to my family, I feel like I'm not the black sheep of my family, but just definitely different compared to them. The whole topic of your podcast is usually type A personalities. And I feel like my mom said before, like, you just have an edge. And like, I kind of took that offensively at first because I felt like she was setting me apart. But then,
right. Because you're sensitive.
I'm so sensitive. I know. Right. Safe space. Trouble.
And you're always looking for the fascists? Is that what it is? He's always looking for that, right? Like, oh my gosh, yeah. Well, we keep him in a safe place. Isn't that a word? Fox News uses it.
Yes, they do.
No, not in this. Okay.
But as far as being different, man, I don't really know that I am different, but I definitely. I do know I have a drive that most people don't, and I don't really, when I set my mind to something, I don't really stop. And I don't know really how to describe it other than that.
Well, even like today, you're training here, right? You got up early. Mm-hmm. I'm saying 5 o'clock, probably getting here, train at 6, and then you're off to Nashville for the weekend for volleyball tournaments.
Yes. I have a tournament tomorrow, and I also have one on Sunday. And then next week, I'll be in California for the Manhattan Beach qualifier on Thursday. So I got a lot of volleyball coming up this week.
You got a lot of volleyball.
Yeah.
So has that always been your passion? I mean, to be honest, we crank in here. You know, we go hard, and, you know, I'm on my point, you're on your point, doing your thing at 6. We don't get a lot of time to sit down and really talk. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure, as usual, this podcast always opens up so many things about each individual I've had on this that I've never known before. But like, how did you gravitate to volleyball?
So I don't think it's fair to say it's always been my passion, but it is my passion. For a long time, I didn't have one. And I was really fortunate. I feel like most people in life don't find something that they're truly passionate about that they allow to change them, and that they really sacrifice anything and everything for. And I did find that in volleyball, but I didn't find it at like a normal age, you know, to like play at a high level in college or, you know, get a scholarship or something out of high school. I found it, you know, midway through undergrad, just playing pickup volleyball at the gym. And I don't know, I just really fell in love with it. And my best friend, still my best friend and brother, he also has just taken it to another level. And I don't know, it's just something I can't really let rest. And so it's definitely my passion for sure.
Well, I'll ask you another question I ask a lot of the guys that come on here and gals. In high school, did you play more than one sport?
Yes. I grew up playing baseball. That was probably my first passion looking back. But I gave it up. I loved baseball, man. I was a pitcher all the way through ninth grade, and I quit. But
and what did you play after?
Basketball. I got so tired of people asking me how tall I was first, and then the second question was, "Do you play basketball?" And when I would say no, I get this giant rant about why I should play, and it just got really annoying. And so I picked it up, and I
know what you mean.
I played at a small Christian school, and yeah, I mean, I was pretty good. But
Where'd you play?
I grew up in Northwest PA, so I was homeschooled until 11th grade.
There it is. That says it all right there.
Homeschooled until 11th grade, but I did play at a small private Christian school. I mean, tiny, man. I graduated with 12 people my senior year. But my basketball team was French Creek Valley Christian School. Yeah, I played all 4 years.
But no
varsity.
volleyball?
No volleyball. The cool thing, though, about Pennsylvania, they're one of the few states that does have boys volleyball at the junior level or at the high school level. So I was always exposed to it and used to it, respected the sport. It was normal to me that guys played volleyball. And then I went to school in Alabama, college in Alabama, and I'm like, there's no guys volleyball in the South.
What part of Alabama?
Mobile, South Alabama.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Jaguars.
Yeah. So were you, aren't you going down there? Aren't you going to be part of the Panhandle at some point? Yeah,
I'm moving back to the Panhandle this weekend. So in the midst of all this volleyball I'm doing, I'm also moving back on Monday to the Gulf Coast, and then just kind of going on this, literally moving all my stuff into my old apartment, and then I'm just taking this giant volleyball trip.
Well, here's another question that I ask a lot of people is, have you found another training place?
No, I haven't, and I'm stressed about it, man. So you just said that you do stuff online, and you send people stuff. So I might text you for whatever you're doing one Monday morning, and I'll go do it.
Yeah, because with the space and how we do our body movements, it's not a lot of equipment, but it'll be hard to find a wood gym.
I've learned so much in here too. I'm really lucky. I mean, I told you when I first met you, I was like, I don't know my way around a gym. Yeah. I don't know how to work out. I didn't. Maybe I still don't.
Because that was pretty cool. Holly knows that story.
I was looking up gyms in the area. I knew that really to take my game to the next level, or really for me to get better, I needed to actually get in shape, because I've never been truly out of shape. I've never truly been in shape either. I've just always been this weird blend of skinny fat. But I found you online, and then was just like, that I already know I can't afford this guy. You got flipping Jimmy Haslam on your website, you have Todd Helton, you have all these NFL guys, Brittany Hochhaver,
who you love.
Oh, I respect the hell out of Brittany Hochhaver.
That's awesome.
I don't know her super well, but just I have a lot of respect for what she's done for our sport, and she's really a trailblazer for sure. But anyways, I saw your website, and I was like, I cannot afford this guy, but it's worth, why not ask? And so, I just wrote you. Cassie, also, who's in your gym, I got your number from her. She just told you told me to text you. So, and I don't still to this day don't know why you said yes, why you let me in through these doors, but
it was a hell of an email. I mean, I don't know if I still have it. I hope it transferred from my old phone, my new phone, with my photos. I hope everything came over, but that was a hell of an email. So I knew somebody that put that much into it was going to be gracious about the training and looking. You took time to search for something that you thought that you wanted. So, I mean, it was one of those things where I was like, this cat's got to come in and check it out.
Yeah. I mean, I was intimidated for sure. I remember my first day, and you were like, go talk to those guys. They play baseball. You're going to be with them today. And it was Greg and Ben. And I walked over, and say, hey, like I'm Ian, I play volleyball, and do you guys play baseball at UT? And Greg was like, I'm in the, I think, Rockies organization, and Ben was like, and he's in the Orioles organization. I was like,
you remember that? Yeah.
Shit, okay.
Let's go.
It's like, well, I play semi-pro beach volleyball, but nice to meet you.
Yeah, and then it went from there.
Yeah, it did, and you guys have been very welcoming, and not as welcoming, but just I love this space. It's not a safe space like we joke about, and that's what I do enjoy about it.
Yeah, it's a variety of misfits, I call them. Everybody's a little bit different and wags their tail different ways, for sure.
For sure. There's some strange cats in here, but
so it's only been 7 months you've been training. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's the biggest difference you could tell?
Oh, physically, and I've gotten a lot of compliments the past month, and I've been meaning to talk to you about this, but like just lasting longer at tournaments. And for instance, I drove 8 hours to play in Columbus, Ohio.
With your dog?
I didn't take my dog this time, but I did drive 8 hours to play in Columbus, Ohio. Played in a 103 heat index day. Played 15 sets that day. Finished third. Drove 8 hours again to Nashville through the night. Woke up off 4 hours of sleep. Woke up and played another 13 sets. So I played 28 sets of volleyball in like a 36-hour span, and like I was ready to just keep going. Ended up losing the finals that day, but on Sunday. But I mean, everyone, I could look across the net and I see the other two guys, and they're gassed out, and let them off the hook. They ended up winning, but I mean, I could have gone, another couple rounds.
Right. So it wasn't conditioning; it was a point or mistake, something where you lost, but not because of the shape you were in.
Right. Vertical's higher. I don't know. Just I feel stronger all around. Every part of my game's gotten better.
And if anybody keeps up with Ian on his social media, he's been mastering this wobble board.
It's called a C-board, and I wobble a lot on it. But yeah, that thing
I bet you do.
Shut up, Charlie, man. Come on. I'm just kidding.
Ian Bicko is. Do you go any other handles? So they can see that on the because it is pretty impressive what you do on the wobble board.
Yeah, the IG handle is No Brick Sticks. It's BRIX and then STIX. But,
yeah, check him out. He's a big deal. He does that every day. He goes over there by himself. I don't even know half the time he videos, half the time he doesn't. But he's the only guy that could actually do it. But he had to start from scratch. He had no balance whatsoever. Well, because that ball it's not locked in like the bongo boards. That's a whole different deal.
No, I really suggest anyone that really any athlete, like that skill is transferable for sure. And it's also just a good place to kind of go, at least for me, what I like about it is it's like a good way to wrap up my workout and get my mind right for the rest of the day and just kind of like decompress, refocus. And yeah.
Do you do anything else besides the wood gym as training?
I know a lot of people think it's overrated, but I do run quite a bit.
You do?
I usually run in the evenings. I just have a short route, run with my dog, but not really. Just, I mean, right now I'm in season, so between this, working full time, then a run, like I'm pretty gassed, and I need to conserve energy for the weekend. But
yeah. Well, these workouts aren't easy. They could be something that takes you through the day. Right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Like my first 2 months here, I was sore just throughout the entire day. And
how are you feeling now? You feel like you're pretty adjusted to it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I would have probably, when I first started here, probably taken it a little easier. But now I try to do every set before a tournament and stuff. So.
And you really like your workout partners?
Yeah,
Who's your favorite?
Oh man, working out with Emily is the best.
She mentioned you in the chips.
R. Kelly too.
Yeah,
R. Kelly's the best.
Yeah.
But Emily is just kind of a special breed of person, human being. She's it's always a privilege working out with her for sure.
Yeah, she's pretty motivated.
And she brings the best out in people too. That's what I respect about her. Is yeah.
Well, that's what that's why I came up. You asked how off the air before we got on is, how'd you get going with the podcast? What made you think about that? It's like, I think everybody has all these great stories and everybody's a type A personality, from R. Kelly, who's an ex-athlete I trained in high school and college to Emily still trying to pursue her WWE dreams and the rock shows and the MMA fightings, and everybody's still chasing goals. And I think actually that's a lost art. I don't think too many people are doing that anymore. It's nobody wants to get weighed. Nobody wants to measure body fat. And in here, I try to hold everybody accountable to that. I had a couple of clients yesterday that wouldn't measure their body fat or get on the scale. I'm like, what are we doing it for? Especially if they're just your business client, not an athlete where you could have so many different measurables. And I'm like, well, we got to do something or it's not worth it. So let's get, we still have to see where we are. And I think those are type A people that come through here. You've worked out with Jimmy Haslam, the first time he worked out with him, he asked him if he was using the decline bench. Like, can you get off it for a minute, so I can get on it? I was laughing my ass off.
I just didn't know his name. That was the main thing. I was like, I don't like it when I don't know someone's name, and I'll over ask so I know the next time who someone is. Well,
that's a good character about you for sure.
But yeah, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, and then he's just one of us. I mean, that's the beauty of the place. I mean, you've worked out with Harrison in here before, haven't you, Harrison Smith?
I haven't. No, I haven't had a chance to meet him yet. But
I don't know if he does the 6 a.m. group, but yeah,
he's all over the wall. So
he's got his own shrine in the corner. I get made fun of, but that's okay. So the type A guys, Emily's, the R. Kelly's, that's about your solid group, right? Because the baseball guys you were in for a while, then they left. Because you started in January, then they bolted out in February, right?
Yeah, the 6 a.m. groups kind of changed a little bit over time.
Yeah.
I think over summer I've noticed it's gotten a little smaller.
Yeah.
Cassie will be in here sometimes.
Yeah.
But
all the high school kids, if they could sleep in and come in later, they'll do it. But, in school, they get after it. I mean, it was pretty packed today. We had a pretty good...
It was rowdy today, man.
Yeah, I made sure I got a good list for you today. I had to work that a little bit. I wanted to make sure your last day was a good day.
And that's kind of what I respect about you, though. I noticed that the past month, really, just from a coaching perspective, coaching background is like when it's just me and Emily or like and R. Kelly, a few adults, like you just kind of let us do our thing and let us, motivate ourselves and we get after it. But when there's your high school athletes or, young college athletes in here, like you bring the energy. And sometimes it's just what you have to do as a coach, to get the best out of themselves, to get the best out of their workout is you bring the energy, you set the tone, you set the pace for the day. Yeah. And because they don't know how to do that yet.
They don't. And me being in these podcasts since I guess November with Dr. James Chu being the first one, is studying other people's podcasts and then even training podcasts. And it's what we talk about is almost the same things. Is like you can have all your credentials, you could be super smart, but you got to have your athletes and clients buy into you. And if they don't buy into you, the education means nothing. So, we call it contagious. I've had people come through and go, hey, you are very contagious. It's whatever is said to do. And it really is like, when I pull in, I change who I am. I'm not Charlie Petrone anymore. I'm Petrone. And I go into my narcissistic level of phase of, I honestly do think it's coming out like WWE of like, these people are paying money for me to be on. So let's put anything personal and let's go at it business wise. So you do, even though it looks like I'm a clown running around, that's my business.
Yeah. I mean, you just create this environment where people have to respond somehow. They're either going to walk out or they're gonna push harder. Yeah. And the other thing I respect too. I'm leaving soon, so I feel like I can tell you all this. But
don't you go crying on me, Bicko. I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive.
Bring the tissues, Holly. Come on.
I'm the real unicorn in the room.
But
rainbows and lollipops. Come on. Let's talk guns. R. Kelly, where's the gun?
And I think it was like April or May, but you were like, kind of made some cuts as far as people in the gym. And I was like, I'm sponsored. I don't pay that much here. And I might be one. And, I was nervous, honestly, but like you cut other people that just like were toxic energy in here or weren't responding to the environment that you've created. And that to me spoke a lot about who you are. Like, it's not always about money, but it's like kind of like a sanctuary that you've created here.
Yeah. Yeah. The culture has to stay the same. It has to be consistent or it doesn't work, and I think that's what we have. And everybody gives everybody hell, jams on everybody. But when push comes to shove, we got to all go to work. It's not clowns. We all go to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, I guess we got to go. And I just wanted to get a brief time. I never get to sit down with you, and actually talk. I mean, we just jam on each other the whole time. I think he's the first person in 28 years that called me a fuckboy. And
you are, man, especially on Fridays.
Yeah, I had to go home and ask my girls what that meant. And thank you. I appreciate it. All right, Bicko, I love you, and I wish you the best of luck. And I think you're going to kick some serious ass.
I love you too, man. And when I do qualify, you'll be one of the first.
I appreciate it. Stay moderate.
You too, man.
Thanks, man.